is part of Namibia's history, and you are a part of Tanzanian history. Karibu sana. Thank you, Nene.
Ni waziri wa habari, utamaduni, sana na michezo akimkaribisha hapa katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika Rais Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah baada ya kufika hapa katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Utakumbuka rais huyu pia alikuwa hapa nchini Tanzania kuanzia mwaka 1980 hadi 1986 akiwa ndiye mwakilishi mkuu wa chama cha SWAPO Afrika Mashariki. Kwa hiyo ni kama nyumbani hapa, unaweza kusema, na waziri amemweleza uzuri kuhusiana na ujio wake katika kituo hiki cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Endelea kusikiliza maelezo.
When now the committee was dissolved in 1994, you can see Hashim Mbita. These were the last employees of the committee here in 1994, who heroically did the job, and you can see Hashim Mbita there.
Yes, I can see him.
And the committee was not only of Tanzanians. This was an Africa committee.
Yes.
So these are the 62 workers who worked here. And you can see there are those who came from Guinea, from Tunisia, from Ghana, from Sierra Leone, from Benin, from Nigeria, from Ethiopia, again from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Egypt. And I think, Your Excellency, you know why the Egyptian embassy is across the road. Because at that time, Egypt played a very great role in protecting freedom fighters. Yes. And there was strategically placed behind there, where their soldiers and their, I don't want to say much, were also guarding this building. So you can see all these were those who did. Yeah, Mr. Edward Aina from Nigeria. Yeah, so this was a truly African committee, as much as we were given the honor to house it. And you know, across the building, and you know the bunker down there.
Yeah.
We have a bunker down there with a tunnel. I don't want to say more. And actually, 2 weeks ago, there were colleagues from Mozambique. They said, why the bunker? We said, yeah, it's because now we are living in peace. At that time, as you know well, General, at any time we'll take these people down the bunker and then through the tunnel and they evacuate them.
It was necessary.
Yeah. So now, welcome. Yes. This is the training equipment of first aid, how the heart works on first aid. So if anyone perhaps is in the ghetto, they will know how to resuscitate. This was what was teaching them first aid, health technical teaching by the Tanzanian doctors for fighters from ANC, MPLA, SWAPO, and ZAN. And this was at Gagao Camp in Iringa. Yeah. And here are some of the identity cards of the employees of the Liberation Committee, which are here, you can see. And this first aid kit is very historical. This was captured during the First World War when we were still a German colony. And it was preserved. It was used also during the Second World War, but it was also used for training of the guerrilla fighters of all the freedom fighters movement in Tanzania. So we keep it. It has survived the First World War when we were still a German colony like Namibia and the rest. And here we have a display of our Tanzanian currencies during the time of the struggle. This is the money we were using, the 100 shillings, the 10 shillings, the 20 shillings. It is this contribution from the people of Tanzania which we were able here and there to supplement needs of the liberation struggle, as you can see it here. And here we have a siren. As you may know, this siren was in Mtwara, southern Tanzania, bordering Mozambique. In order to deter, you can saw, if we were attacked from the Portuguese warplanes, jet fighters. Ongeza. Siogope. Then the people that will go down in the bunkers. Yeah. And as you know, after the assassination of Edward Mondlane, we had to demolish most of our roads bordering Mozambique in order to deter the Portuguese entering Tanzania. We had to destroy our own bridges, we had to destroy our own roads. Otherwise, it was dangerous But this was a siren in Mtwara, where you have been once or twice during your stay in Tanzania. This is a very historic motorbike, first used by Mondlane and then used by Samora Machel during their tour. So Samora Machel would sit here, his documents would be here, and the driver will be there, and his guard will be here. So this is a very historic motorbike, which was given to Mwalimu Nyerere, and then he gave it to Mondlane, and most used by Samora Machel during those good old days. Now here we have this is very interesting. This was a special camera where we made all the documents for the Liberation Committee and the Liberation movements made in Germany. So we did most of the photographing and documents, a camera, a special camera. Where we do the videoing, and some of the videos you will see them today. And the camera here. And which was given to us from the German Democratic Republic, GDR at that time. So most of the documents, photographic documents and video were done by this machine. Now here, these were the typewriters where most of your documents of SWAPO, ANC, all the liberation movements, you are using these typewriters to type. And some of the documents are here, including the Dar es Salaam Declaration of 1975 on the invigoration of the struggle in Namibia. These were the typewriters which were used at that time. And then here,
How are you? I'm very fine. Okay.
these are the staff now here. Now, Madam President, this room, you know it better than I. This is where you are doing your meetings. And when the presidents came, they were sitting here. The same furniture, what we've done is just refurbished the same table. And as you remember, that is where Mwalimu Nyerere was sitting. And most of the times, this is where Samora was sitting. You can see. Yeah, the boardroom, yeah. And during pastime, because Mwalimu liked bow, this bow. So during pastime, let us try me and you. This was their pastime when they are breaking. And here is a gallery of photographs, and you can see President Samuel Shafi Shuna Nuyoma, but others. And Mzee Kawawa.
Yes.
Many people don't know, perhaps, the big role that Rashid Mfaume Kawawa played during the liberation struggle. And we called him Simba wa Vita, the Lion of War. He's the one who supported you very much and very closely. Simba wa Vita. Rashid Kawawa.
We spoke about him.
Rashid Kawawa.
Yeah, we sang about him.
Yeah, and here you can see the others, American Cabral, Abeddaman Karume, Edward Mondlane, Oliver Tambo, and the rest. Yeah. And upstairs we have documents, but those of Namibia, you will see them in the Namibia chapter.
Okay.
But we have all the documents.
Okay.
We have more than 3,000 photographs.
3,000.
Photographs. And more than 600 audios. So these are some of the pictures, but we'll go and show you there. And this is when NASA toured Tanzania in 1966. And he went to Kongwa to see SWAPO and the ANC fighters. And I'll show you the airport at Kongwa where he landed. So during his tour, he went personally, NASA, to Kongwa to see the freedom fighters and how they are being trained in 1966. Yeah. And you can see here Yeah. Yeah.
Mtazamaji wa TBC1 unaendelea kufuatilia matangazo ya moja kwa moja. Hapa ni katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Rais wa Namibia Netumbo Ndaitwa ametembelea hapa, na Tanzania ilikuwa mwenyeji wa kamati ya ukombozi wa nchi huru za Afrika OAU, na anaendelea kupatiwa maelekezo hapa juu ya yaliyofanyika makubwa.
Which was for SWAPO, ANC, and the ANC it was Chris Hani. Chris Hani was also in Kongwa.
Okay.
And this is the these are the buildings where they were living. This one, and here now, Samuel Yoma. In 2000 he toured Kongwa, and he comes out of this bank.
Oh,
Samuel Yoma.
coming out of that
Yeah.
banner.
And this is the Kongwa Airport.
Kongwa Airport.
That is where NASA landed in 1966 to go and see the freedom fighters there in Kongwa.
Okay.
And this is one of the dormitory where Nyoma lived there. This is the house in Kongwa where always when Nyoma went to Kongwa, that is where he was staying. And these are part of the graves of the Namibian freedom fighters who passed away in Kongwa. There's Ismail Haindongo, Gabriel Chipa, and Helena Shira. Yeah. Now, Madam President, I would want to know from you, what were you doing here?
I was listening intently.
That is 1974, General.
Yes.
Mwisho Shange here.
Mwishange.
And here, what were you doing, Madam President?
Still listening and learning.
And learning.
Yes.
And here is Toivo ya Toivo.
Yeah.
And here,
Yeah.
do you see yourself here, Madam President?
Yes, am I there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this now was in 1984, Dr. Salim, Samuel Yoma, and Toivo ya Toivo. Now here is here in Dar es Salaam at the where Richard Biwa was buried, and then Yoma visited him in 1982.
Oh, Richard Biwa.
Yeah. You remember this house, Madam President? In Magomeni?
This is now Magomeni Mikumi.
Uh-huh.
This is my residence.
Yeah. For 6 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
for 6 years I lived there.
Is when Samuel Yoma visited Tanzania now as the head of state. This is 1991.
Yes.
Here you can see this was Arusha in 1982, talking to the Chinese delegation. This is in Ubungo in 1991, where Nyoma was unveiling a street which was given by his name. And here he was making a speech in 1980 at the Korean Center. Here in Dar es Salaam. Here also. This again was in 1980. Yeah.
Steven, because of the family.
That's why I said today you are the one who will narrate more than I. Because and here is Samuel Yoma with our former Vice President Abud Jumbe. Yeah. And you know when Samuel Yoma came to Tanzania, to Tanganyika, he assumed a Tanzanian name. And this is his passport and his new name. He was given a new name of Sam Makangale. And a teacher born in Dodoma in 1939. So he was no longer Sam Nyoma. He was now Sam Makangale and born in Dodoma. That was now his Nom Guere.
That is nice.
His Nom Guere was now Makangale, and it means now he's a Mgogo from Dodoma.
Oh, he's a Mgogo.
And this was the passport, the last passport that Samora used from Tanzania before he went now to Mozambique in 1975.
Okay,
So this was the last passport that Tanzania gave to Samora Machel. And at that time already the things were better. This is why the passport now was in his name. Yeah, but that one, you can see, he was still in Mwakangali, not in Yoma. So these are some of the photographs. You can see Nyoma in different pictures which put Bartheim. You can see some of the photographs. You can see some of the photographs. As I said, we have more than 3,000 photographs. Yeah, this is Yasser Arafat. This was in GDR. No, this yeah, in Germany.
These are the ones now.
Yeah. Oh, this, sorry. And here they are daughters of Africa. Now, this was this Thabit Kombo from Zanzibar. Here we had Kawawa, who was the one given by Mwalimu Nyerere to handle the freedom fighters. In Zanzibar, it was Thabit Kombo, who was also the Secretary General of the African Afro-Shirazi Party, and a confidant of Mwalimu. And lucky enough now, his son is our foreign minister. Standing here behind me. Yeah, his son. But this and the Kawawa were the one whom Mwalimu charged, as you know, better than I, the two of them. Yeah, more photographs here you can see in Nyoma. Now here are the daughters of Africa. Yeah. And here you are.
Oh. Those are the sons.
Sons, and here are the daughters.
Here are the daughters.
You are Sina Machel, but here you are.
Yes.
Perhaps their faces you remember?
Oh, yeah.
There's Sophia Kawawa here.
Maria is there.
Gracia Machel, Maria
is there.
Fatma Karume, Winnie.
Here. The first president of General Assembly woman is here.
Yeah.
From Guinea.
Yeah.
Yamai is here.
Yeah.
Kandanga is there.
Yeah.
From Namibia.
Yeah.
Oh, there are many here.
Yeah.
Oh, Gift Maria and Ruth Neto.
Yeah.
Albertus Sulu is
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Margaret Kenyatta is here.
If there's anyone who has forgotten, please remind us, Your Excellency, we'll add in the gallery. Yeah. Yeah. And this was the meeting you did at Karimjee Hall with the Nyoma here. This is President Winnie. This is our former Vice President, Prime Minister Warioba at Karimjee Hall, just across here. And here is Nyerere with Sam Nyoma and Oliver Tambo. And here is Nyerere with the Nkrumah playing table tennis. Yeah. These are the executive secretaries of the OAU Liberation Coordination Committee.
Okay.
You know that she was given to Tanzania for all the 30 years. The first one was Sebastian Chale from 63 to 66. And then came George Magombe from 66 to 72. And then Mwalimu decided now to have an executive secretary who is a military officer, military general, because at that time now we had to intensify the armed struggle. And that is where now Hashim Bita, Brigadier General Bita now was moved here. Because now it was all peaceful means had failed, and there was no way except to intensify the armed struggle. And it is when Hashim Bita was given that honor to do. So these are the stalwarts of the committee. And this was the first Land Rover which was given by Algeria to the committee in 1968. You know, Algeria I don't need to say much. That is where most of the training was done before opening camps here. But most of the facilities also came from Algeria, including the car during the time of Ben Bella. Actually, it is Ben Bella who proposed Dar es Salaam to be the headquarters of OAU Liberation Committee. It was Ben Bella. He said Dar es Salaam is the proper place. Yeah, so. I'm sure Your Excellency, you remember this conference table.
Yes, conference.
And I want to believe you remember this.
Yeah.
It was SWAPO, and then it became Namibia. So I think always when you sat on the table, this was your where SWAPO.
Yes.
Where SWAPO. You know, PAC is there.
Yeah.
The Sahrawi is there. Yeah. And here now, sorry. These are the frontline states.
Okay.
After the Mulungushi Club and after the coup d'etat in Uganda and Milton Obote was ousted, the Mulungushi Club was replaced now with the frontline states. And the Mulungushi Club was Kaunda, Nyerere, and Obote. Thereafter now it was Kaunda, Neto, Nyerere, Hama, and Machel. And as you know more than I, always their chairperson was Julius Nyerere.
Yeah, he was always the chairperson. Yeah.
So now here we will see a very short documentary.
Yes, the people of Namibia and that of South Africa are fighting against a common enemy. Therefore, the regime of South Africa is the very regime that denying the people of Namibia basic fundamental human rights and the majority Africans in South Africa. So we are fighting in Namibia to liberate our country and also to support our brothers and sisters in South Africa who are fighting to restore their rights in the country of their birth.
In the fight for African liberation, Tanzania and Namibia stood together as brothers, united by sacrifice and a shared dream of freedom. Tanzania, under Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, supported Namibia's liberation movement, SWAPO, led by Sam Nujoma against South African apartheid rule. Tanzania provided military training, logistical support, and diplomatic backing, contributing to Namibia independence in 1990.
There you are.
Nyerere and Nujoma were close friends and freedom fighters. Nyerere supported Nujoma's leadership of SWAPO, while Nujoma admired Nyerere's Pan-African ideals. The African Liberation Heritage Center in Tanzania preserved the history of Namibia's liberation struggle and the other African countries' quest for freedom. Today, Tanzania and Namibia continue to collaborate in trade, education, culture, and
this photo?
Yes.
building on the shared history and progress. This enduring friendship is a legacy and a brotherhood that symbolizes the pride of Africa. May the bond between these two nations continue to thrive.
Tangu alipokuwa hapa chief representative of SWAPO alikuwa ni mchapakazi na kweli juhudi zake zimempelekea mpaka akafika hapo alipofika sasa hivi kama rais wa Namibia.
They go in the village and whenever they come in the family, they take what they like in the house. And they used to come in my house at night with their guns, and whenever they want to see who is sleeping, they just take the barrel of the gun and take off the blanket. It doesn't matter whether you are naked or not. They just do what they like, and sometimes they beat the people in the house and even the children. We are fighting until the final victory. We want to ensure them that we shall defeat the fascists and wipe them away from the Namibian soil so that every part of Namibia will be free and we shall be in a free Namibia under the leadership of our mighty SWAPO.
I didn't know.
This is my sister, my elder sister.
So here we have this place. This was right here. It was doing the when the freedom fighters, the struggle freedom fighters were ready to run the liberation struggle. These are the Swanla. And here you can see again Samuel Loma, Nyerere, Oliver Tambo. And this was during the UN United Nations Committee on Decolonization. At that time, our the rep was Salim Ahmed Salim. You can see Marim there. And you can see here Nyoma with the weapons which were captured from the enemy forces by freedom fighters. Yes. Ohamba. Perhaps so later on, and this was at Nicole College across the Indian Ocean, which was the Carter College, and he was one of those who normally went there to give lectures. Here you can see the survivors of the Kasinga massacre. This more salute. Here again, this was in Addis Ababa, in Nyoma and Oliver Tambo in 1989. This is when now Sam Nyoma was addressing the UN Security Council on the issue of Namibia's independence. When he was arriving from you might remember him, this was at that time our permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Daniel Muloka. Yeah, the small boy here.
He's saluting. He's always saluting.
And here again, Pohamba, which was making and here's Hashim Mita. This was a speech here in Dar es Salaam in 1976.
Oh, the 26th of August.
Hashim Mita there. And this is James Biapuela, the UN Secretary General, in 1990. Here is the SWAPO choir. Now someone from Namibia will help us to identify some of these people. This was Namibia Day in 1976, and this was the choir. So perhaps
students were studying here.
Yeah. And this is when he returned now in 1989, and there is where he was at the Katutura. I want to know exactly, Your Excellency, his face.
It looks familiar.
It looks familiar.
Yeah.
And this face here again.
Oh, no, no.
And
Again, it looks familiar.
Looks like a means of agenda here.
Maybe.
this one, yeah?
No, this one here.
This one.
Yeah, it's an independent
Yes, I think we're a means of agenda here.
That time, yeah. This one, yeah. Now, as I said, we don't only have photographs, but also have different documents. These are the documents which we produced during the liberation struggle from SWAPO, Namibia. All these are documents. Now we are digitalizing them so that they are in the digital form. And this is 1986, year of general mobilization and decisive action for final victory by SWAPO. It's one of the most important documents on the strategy. And I see SWAPO here, and then we have the Windhoek review. Konzogwisi, South African spy.
Oh, it's written by interview.
This one is
Okay, oh, he was a minister.
You can see all these documents, like this one here is a speech by Samuel Nyoma, February 1972. All speeches here. And this is the Hashim Mita. This is very, very. This is Belibela from Algeria. Actually, he's a person who needs to honor. He did a lot. A lot, Belibela. Belibela. And this are the Hashim with the documents, and the volume 3 is in Namibia. This volume is Namibia. The entire volume is on different documents from Namibia. Now there's an English translation, because that on Mozambique and Angola is in Portuguese. But now we've translated it in English, and we have completed the Swahili translation, which is about to be published. Yeah, as part of the Hashim Bita.
The Hashim Bita project.
And you can see where it was in Germany. You can see here the swap of the fighters providing assistance to civilians in the liberated areas. These are some of the provisions which were brought from Gidiana. This is when now Swami Roma was given the Matara medal by the highest medal. And this was a press conference by the Foreign Relations Secretary, Peter.
Yeah, Peter Matiang'i.
This is when now Swami Roma visited Tanzania's president. All these are the photographs, yeah. And this was a document which was published in the, here is Ambassador Christopher Liundi, but you can see in Dar es Salaam. Yeah.
No, the history is here.
This is the document which was published in the Nationalist on the SWAPO Namibia Reservation Movement. Yeah. SWAPO Program of Action. And then you come back here. Now here, these are the pioneers of the Republic of Namibia.
Only 4 alive.
Okay.
Most of them are gone. Only 4 who are alive. There are only 4 who are still alive.
The Constituent Assembly.
Only 4 who are. Only four who are in life now.
Which one and one?
3.
So 1, 2, 3, and then 4.
We'll mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the last 3 and here. Now let us come here, Your Excellency. Please take a seat here. General, take a seat there. We have a lot of audio information. And here we just briefly play you a speech by Swami Roma in 1972 at the UN Security Council.
Mr. President, distinguished members of the Security Council, there are privileges in life that should be accompanied by particular solemnity. The privilege that your august body has bestowed upon me as the first freedom fighter to be accorded this opportunity. Indeed, it's one of such privileges. Aware of this spurious task that rests upon my shoulder today, Mr. President, allow me to express my most sincere debt of gratitude to you and through you to the distinguished members of the Security Council. Mr. President, this occasion of the Security Council has been convened to discuss ways and means of enforcing previous decisions of the United Nations General Assembly, as well as those of the Security Council, in the light of the advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice, rendered on 21st June 1971. The International Court
We just want to show you.
Okay.
All these speeches.
Yeah.
All these speeches.
They are recorded.
They're recorded in audio form, and as you've seen of yourself and our dear sister, they're all here. They're all preserved here.
There is really history.
Yeah, all preserved here. And we have many speeches of Samuel Nkrumah and other leaders. And we have also some of the documents which need still to be declassified.
Okay.
Yeah. And on videos, there are videos which we won't show, except to very few people.
Okay.
Of freedom fighters, for example, those who were killed by South Africa and Namibia, how they were shot. They are all preserved. So also the cruel part of the history of apartheid in Namibia is preserved here. It's preserved here.
This is really the liberation.
Na mtazamaji wa TBC 1 bado
but now we have received requests from different people, also from you Namibia, that you also want a museum in Congo. So I think we will work together and see how we are also going to do another museum in Congo.
Na mtazamaji wa TBC 1, waziri wa habari, utamaduni, sanaa na michezo Profesa Palamagamba Kabudi bado anaendelea kumpatia historia na picha ambazo zipo katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Bado anaendelea kumpatia, tuendelee kusikiliza hapa. Nenda nje kapeti.
These are all sites of the liberation movements in Tanzania. And the most important for SWAPO, this is one, the Kihesa Ngagao training camp in Iringa. This is where SWAPO, the last group of SWAPO, when we had to intensify the struggle, and especially after what happened in Angola. We had to move the people from Kongwa to Ngagao. And this is Kongwa here, which you have seen. And another important part for SWAPO is Tanga at Mkuyu training camp. So the Southwest African Liberation Army was in Mkuyu Tanga, was in Ngagao Iringa, and Kongwa Dodoma. The three sites. General, you know this place very well.
This was for girls. It's about schooling for men, but our girls, when they were there, they were disputed.
Where is in Twara?
Twara is here. Twara here. Twara is here. Here, Twara, the most important was Nachingwea, Farm 27, Nachingwea. This is where you had Frelimo, Farm 17. Here. And then Twara here. And this is the border of Mozambique. And that is where we had to destroy all the bridges and the roads to deter Portuguese soldiers entering in Tanzania.
Okay.
Yeah. And the general knows better than me. And he already remembers where he was in Congo.
Yeah.
So next time, General,
I think
it will be our privilege and honor to take you to Congo.
just to refresh my
Yeah. Now we go this way.
Na mtazamaji wa TBC 1, baada ya kukamilika kwa harakati za ukombozi mwaka 1994, Tanzania ilibakiwa na amali za urithi wa ukombozi wa Afrika ambazo ni nyaraka, vifaa na miundombinu na majina mbalimbali ya wapigania uhuru, na bado anaendelea kupatiwa maelezo na waziri wa habari, utamaduni, sanaa na michezo ya viongozi, lakini maeneo mbalimbali ambayo yalitumika wakati wa harakati za ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Baada ya kukamilika kwa harakati za ukombozi mwaka 1994, Tanzania ilibakiwa na amali za urithi wa ukombozi wa Afrika ambazo ni nyaraka, vifaa na miundombinu mbalimbali katika kuhifadhi na kuenzi urithi. Kuanzia mwaka 2003 hadi 2010, hatua mbalimbali zilifanyika ikiwemo mikutano ya mashauriano ya kitaifa na kimataifa kuhusu uanzishwaji wa programu maalum ya kusimamia urithi huo. Kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa Afrika kilibuniwa na Tanzania mwaka 2003 na tathmini ilifanywa na wadau. Na mtusikilize sasa picha ambayo inafunguliwa hivi sasa. Hiyo ni picha ya Rais Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah wakati akiwa mwakilishi wa SWAPO hapa Afrika Mashariki, na hapa anaweka saini yake. Picha hiyo wakati huo akiwa mwakilishi mkuu wa SWAPO Afrika Mashariki kuanzia mwaka 1980 hadi 1989, na hapo alikuwa akizungumza na waandishi wa habari, na hapo pembeni unayemwona hapo ni katibu wa SWAPO wa wakati huo. Alikuwa anazungumza na waandishi wa habari jijini Dar es Salaam katika taasisi ya usimamizi wa fedha IFM wakati huo mwaka 1980 hadi 1986.
Here we have bound for you some of the most important documents in this special book. We have the report of the Secretary General of the Education of West. That's the declaration. Memorandum between SWAPO and the national relations. The declaration of Southwest Africa's People's Nation SWAPO of Namibia Central Committee of 1977. Some UNIOMA, actually the Non-Aligned Movements 83, and the SWAPO Information Bulletin. So we have all bound, and they are all here in our archives.
Thank you.
Yeah, hold it.
Now, yesterday you spoke a very good Swahili. Because Kwikala, which means to stay, is found in most of the Bantu languages in Tanzania. Kwikala means to stay. Kukala.
Yeah.
Kukala means to stay. Kukala,
Kukala.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Kiswahili is the Bantu language.
Yes.
So when you say the Kukala, is also Swahili. Now here are the dictionaries to assist you. Here, one, this is a special dictionary which was prepared for primary school students, pupils, with photographs and how to use words. And this is also another one now for adults, which means, and all these have been produced by our National Swahili Council.
Okay.
So this is for you, Excellency.
To polish your Swahili.
And now, I know General was in Congo.
Yeah.
So this is also for you.
You must also polish your Swahili.
Thanks that I was in Congo. Thank you.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Is Mtangulia University.
This now will go to the Deputy Prime Minister. Someone will take it for the Deputy Prime Minister. Now, Your Excellency, me and Ambassador Mahmoud Thabit Kombo, besides being cabinet ministers, we have a hobby which we've done together, and we want to present to you. One, we did a book on the 60 years, photographic journey of the 60 years of our union, with a foreword by the President. And here you can see, part of the editors is His Excellency Ambassador Mahmoud Thabit Kombo. and part of the those who wrote it is Professor Palamagamba Kabudi. So this is 60 years of our union, photographic journey, different photographs, and we are privileged to give it to you, Shika Kwanza. And the most recently one is on Mwalimu Nyerere, photographic journey. Also forwarded by Her Excellency President Samia, and the writers are here. The writers is Professor Palamagamba Kabudi and Ambassador Mahamoud Thabit Kom.
Wow.
So we would also want to present to you this photographic journey of Mwalimu. And now we are preparing a photographic journey of Tanzania and the liberation struggle.
Oh, so you are still working together?
Yeah. So God willing, now Shirai. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. God of Nyerere, you are very father, Julius Nyerere.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Knowledge.
And many special greetings from the most reverend Maimbo Mndolwa, the primate and the archbishop of the Anglican Church of Tanzania, who sometime visited Namibia. And he's the one who told me you are also a son of an Anglican pastor.
He's right, he's right. Please pass my regards.
And now the last one.
Oh. Who is the artist?
The artist is Chikopa.
The artist is Come. Shoot.
Wow.
Act. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Na mtazamaji wa TBC One, ni zawadi mbalimbali ambazo amepatiwa Rais Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah baada ya kupitishwa katika maeneo mbalimbali ya kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Ni kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika ambacho kilibuniwa na Tanzania mwaka 2003 kwa tathmini iliyofanywa na wadau wa urithi wa ukombozi wa urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika, ambayo kwa sasa inaendeshwa na kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Kituo hiki kilibuniwa na Tanzania mwaka 2003 na kwa tathmini kubwa hasa na taarifa mbalimbali na nyaraka muhimu ambazo ziko hapa ni kufuatia Tanzania yenyewe ilikuwa mwenyeji wa kamati ya ukombozi ya Umoja wa Nchi Huru za Afrika OAU, ambapo makao makuu yake yalikuwa jijini Dar es Salaam kuanzia mwaka 1964 hadi 1994. Na hapa anamsalimia Salama Salehe, mama huyo ambaye anaendelea kupatiwa na kupata taarifa mbalimbali kutoka kwa na yupo anaongea na Balozi Christopher Liunde huyo, lakini sasa anaongea na Salama Salehe ambaye wakati Rais Ndaitwah alipokuwa mwakilishi mkuu wa SWAPO Afrika Mashariki, walikaa eneo moja la Magomeni, na baada ya kupitishwa katika maeneo mbalimbali ndani ya kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika, sasa ana saini kitabu kile baada ya kujionea kumbukumbu na nyaraka muhimu ambazo zipo katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika ndani ya kituo hiki ambacho kipo hapa Dar es Salaam. Kituo cha urithi cha ukombozi wa bara la Afrika ambacho kinaratibiwa na Wizara ya Habari, Utamaduni, Sanaa na Michezo chini ya azimio la Umoja wa Afrika la mwaka 2011 limeridhia Tanzania kwa makao makuu ya uhifadhi wa kumbukumbu za harakati za ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Kituo hiki kina jukumu la kutambua, kuhifadhi, kutunza na kutangaza urithi wa ukombozi ambao ni pamoja na picha, filamu, simulizi, barua, hotuba za viongozi, machapisho, nyaraka, maeneo ambayo yaliyotumiwa na wapigania uhuru, nyimbo, sare, michoro, ramani za maeneo ya ukombozi, makaburi ya mashujaa wapigania uhuru, mahandaki, zana pamoja na vitu vingine muhimu vinavyohusishwa na harakati za ukombozi wa bara la Afrika na lakini pia na malengo hasa ya kituo hiki, lengo kuu ni kukusanya, kuweka kumbukumbu, kuhifadhi na kuendeleza historia ya ukombozi wa Afrika iliyotokana na nyaraka za kupigania uhuru, lakini pia kuamsha na kuendeleza utafiti wa urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Sasa baada ya kusaini daftari la wageni, sasa ndivyo anaagana na waziri wa habari, utamaduni, sanaa na michezo, lakini bado wanateta kidogo kuhusiana na makubwa ambayo na ushirikiano mkubwa baina ya Tanzania na taifa la Namibia. Ndivyo hivyo anapoingia kwenye gari yake baada ya kupita katika maeneo mbalimbali ya kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika na kujionea makubwa na kumbukumbu muhimu ambazo zipo ndani ya kituo hiki. Mtazamaji wa TBC1, ndivyo hivyo baada ya kujionea kumbukumbu, nyaraka muhimu ambazo zipo katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika, Rais Netumbo Ndaitwah anaondoka sasa hapa katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika, lakini mengi yapo na simulizi, nyaraka muhimu kuhusiana pia na taifa la Namibia wakati wa harakati za ukombozi wa bara la Afrika. Na utakumbuka taifa la Namibia lenyewe lilipata uhuru wake mwaka 1990. Kwa hiyo kuna nyaraka muhimu na kumbukumbu ya mataifa ya bara la Afrika, si Namibia tu, yapo mataifa mengi ya bara la Afrika, kumbukumbu zake na viongozi mbalimbali ambao walipigania uhuru wa mataifa. Dr. Sam Nujoma kwa upande wa Namibia, hayati Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere kwa upande wa Tanzania. Na hivyo ndivyo anapoondoka katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi wa bara la Afrika, na baada ya hapa ataelekea katika tukio lingine, chuo kikuu cha Dar es Salaam, katika mhadhara. Anaeleza safari yake ya uongozi na mengi ambayo imepitia, lakini Tanzania na Namibia zinaendelea kushirikiana katika maeneo mbalimbali, elimu, siasa na maeneo mengine muhimu, baada ya mazungumzo ya marais hawa wawili, Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan na Rais Netumbo Ndaitwah, baada ya kuzungumza na uwili wao, lakini pia kuzungumza na vyombo vya habari hapo jana. Sisi tunaendelea kukupasha kwa uzuri, ikiwa leo ni siku ya pili ya ziara ya Rais Netumbo Ndaitwah hapa nchini Tanzania. Mimi ni John Matias, na kwa wakati huu basi moja kwa moja nirejeshe studio Mikocheni Dar es Salaam kuendelea na matangazo mengine.
Naam, shukran sana John Matias kutoka katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi bara la Afrika, ambapo ni sehemu muhimu na adhimu yenye historia na kumbukumbu muhimu la ukombozi wa nchi za bara la Afrika. Rais Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah hakuja peke yake, ameambatana na mumewe ambaye ni Jenerali mstaafu Epaphras Denga Ndaitwah, ambaye mnamo mwaka 2011 hadi 2013 alikuwa mkuu wa majeshi Namibia. Lakini wanandoa hao walifunga ndoa mnamo mwaka 1983 nchini Tanzania, Magomeni. Rais Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah yuko ziarani Tanzania kwa mwaliko maalum wa Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan. Leo ametembelea katika kituo cha urithi wa ukombozi bara la Afrika, lakini hapo baadaye ataenda katika chuo kikuu cha Dar es Salaam ambapo atazungumza kuhusiana na uongozi na nafasi ya wanawake katika masuala ya uongozi. Kwa hiyo nikusihi uendelee kufuatilia TBC kujua mambo mbalimbali kuhusiana na ziara hiyo ya Rais Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah.